Hundreds of thousands of Epstein files are finally released. Emails, videos, transcripts from a major investigation into the sex offender. Plus, more photos of his rich and famous associates, though none show evidence of wrongdoing. But not all the files will be released by tonight's deadline. On that, survivors are furious.
Justice delayed is justice denied, and I really feel that if we don't get all of the files, it's justice denied.
Tonight, the FBI says it's identified more than 1,000 victims of his vile abuse. Also on the programme, David Walliams denies allegations of inappropriate behaviour after his publisher drops him. The wife, her lover, and the botched attempt to murder her husband. He is left wondering if there was a simpler way out.
You know, I don't understand. I still don't understand to this day why she didn't, ask for a divorce.
And pick on someone your own size. Heavyweight boxing in uncharted territory.
This is ITV News with Yasmin Bodalbhai.
Good evening. The long-awaited release of the Epstein files has been met with anger and disappointment by survivors. Tonight, hundreds of thousands of documents relating to the American sex offender Jeffrey Epstein were made public, but it's not the full set. Many are also heavily redacted, prompting fury from Donald Trump's opponents. What we have learned is the true scale of Epstein's abuse. The Department of Justice said it identified more than 1,000 victims as part of its investigation. And there were more photos of Epstein's lavish lifestyle and celebrity associates. With the details now is our US correspondent, Dan Rivers.
After so much expectation, this is what greeted those who managed to access the first cache of the Epstein files tonight. About 20% of the roughly 300,000 files were heavily redacted. But among the tens of thousands of images were some which were eye-raising. Several showed Bill Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein, including Clinton in a hot tub, but the former president has always denied any wrongdoing. Some photos showed Epstein and the late pop star Michael Jackson, and here is the magician David Copperfield with Ghislaine Maxwell. This photo shows Andrew Mountbatten Windsor lying across a row of women. Sarah Ferguson also appears, along with Mick Jagger. These photos, while embarrassing for those who appear in them, do not prove any wrongdoing. Today, one Epstein survivor expressed her frustration at the amount of material which hasn't been released.
Justice delayed is justice denied, and I really feel that if we don't get all of the files, then, it's justice denied.
This is the gold card, as you know.
For a man who normally relishes his press conferences, today Donald Trump was uncharacteristically reluctant to take questions whilst touting his new immigration card.
I really don't want to soil it up by asking questions, even questions that are very fair questions that I'd love to answer. So I think we have to just stop right here.
Deciding not to face the scrutiny of the press afterwards.
Deputy Attorney General, thanks so much for giving us some time this morning.
One of Trump's senior legal officials confirmed today's release is not comprehensive, as required by the law Trump himself signed.
What we're doing is we are looking at every single piece of paper that we are going to produce, making sure that every victim, their name, their identity, their story, to the extent it needs to be protected, is completely protected. And so I expect that we're going to release more documents over the next couple of weeks. So today, several 100,000, and then over the next couple weeks, I expect several 100,000 more.
It's provoked the fury of the Democrats, who today accused the Trump administration of a cover-up. Previously, they've warned officials who refused to release the files could themselves face prosecution.
If Pam Bondi does not comply with the law, she will be held either in inherent contempt of Congress or subject to impeachment. We will not rest until the law is complied with and justice is served.
It will take days, perhaps weeks, for all of these files to be examined, but even on a first cursory scan, they do pose many new questions. How Epstein and his accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell managed to get such breathtaking access to those in positions of power and fame, and who knew about the true nature of their paedophile activities.
Dan, these files are going to take a very long time to go through, and it's not even all of them. What happens in the coming days?
Well, I think we'll see the beginning of a pretty protracted and bitter legal and political battle between the Democrats and the Republicans over this, or rather, actually, most politicians in Congress and the Trump administration, because don't forget the Epstein Transparency Act was passed almost unanimously. Only one voted against in the House and completely unanimously in the Senate, and they'll want answers as to why there have been so many redactions and why not all of the files have been published today as required by that law. What we've got so far mostly seems to come from the prosecutions of Epstein and Maxwell. It gives, a sense of some of the material. Huge amounts, as I say, has been redacted. We've got some of those photos, but that doesn't prove by itself any wrongdoing. I think the one thing that is conspicuous by its absence is the complete lack of any photos of Donald Trump in all of this, even though we know that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were very close friends.
Okay, Dan, thank you. And as we said, there are hundreds of thousands of documents to look through. As we sift through them, you can keep up to date with the latest on our website. That is, of course, itv.com/news. The entertainment star David Walliams has been dropped by his publisher. HarperCollins said it wouldn't be publishing any more of his books following a newspaper report about alleged inappropriate behaviour. Mr. Walliams strongly denies the claim and says he wasn't even aware of an investigation into him. Ellie Pitt has the latest.
I want to write books that they want to read, you know, that it's a pleasure for them to read.
Just 2 weeks ago, David Walliams was on TV promoting his latest book on sale this Christmas. But tonight, his publisher has confirmed they will not release any new stories by him. In a statement, a HarperCollins spokesperson said, after careful consideration and under the leadership of its new CEO, HarperCollins UK has decided not to publish any new titles by David Walliams.
Once upon a time, there was a boy named Drew.
Walliams has sold tens of millions of copies of his children's books, which are common in school libraries. Now his book deal has been cancelled over reports in the Telegraph of allegations that he harassed junior female employees at the publishing house, and that one woman who raised concerns was given a payment before leaving the company. Tonight, a statement released on behalf of Walliams says David has never been informed of any allegations raised against him by HarperCollins. He was not party to any investigation or given any opportunity to answer questions. David strongly denies that he has behaved inappropriately and is taking legal advice.
Unfortunately, I do have a complaint. It was too good.
This follows a series of scandals that have seen Walliams dropped from television appearances too. After more than a decade as a judge on Britain's Got Talent, he was replaced after being found to have made disrespectful comments about contestants. Then, a recording of the comedy panel show Would I Lie to You was never broadcast after he was said to have made 2 Nazi salutes during the filming.
Welcome to Spain. If you look to your left, you'll see Spain.
The sketch show Little Britain launched Walliams onto the British comedy scene in the early 2000s. More recently, writing has been his focus, with his books adapted into theatre productions and TV shows. But tonight, the HarperCollins chapter in his career has closed. Ellie Pitt, ITV News.
European Union leaders have struck a deal to give Ukraine a £79 billion interest-free loan. The loan aims to help the country meet its military and economic needs for the next 2 years. But it falls short of the failed plan to raise the funds using frozen Russian assets. A woman's been jailed for 19 years over a failed plot to murder her husband. Michelle Mills and her lover Geraint Berry had planned to make Christopher Mills' death look like a suicide. From Swansea Crown Court, Sangeeta Lal reports.
In September last year, officers believed they were responding to an armed robbery.
Heading out to the front of you.
But once caught, police realised they had a more dangerous suspect.
Quickly, while we just detain her, make sure there's no more weapons, please.
Geraint Berry had attempted to commit murder hours before, a plan concocted with 46-year-old Michelle Mills.
I'm going to prison over this, aren't I?
The pair were having an affair, their aim to have her husband, Christopher Mills, killed in an ambush.
It's the ultimate betrayal, isn't it? I mean, having an affair is one thing, that's bad. But having an affair and try and murder you, that's even worse than it.
The court heard ex-Marine Berry had fantasised about killing Mr Mills weeks before the attack. The agreed plan was to use gas masks, cable ties and fake guns to kill Christopher in his caravan and make it look like a suicide. The pair even forged a suicide note, which the court heard showed significant planning and premeditation. But there was more. Berry had conducted reconnaissance visits to the caravan 3 weeks before the ambush. Today, both Berry and Mills were jailed for 19 years. 15 months on since the attack, Christopher says he's still in shock.
I married her, I loved her, you know, and now obviously I don't love her anymore. You know, I don't understand, I still don't understand to this day why she didn't, you know, ask for a divorce.
Take him down, mate.
It was described in court as a cold, calculated attack, foiled within minutes by a man who fought back to protect the one person he thought he could trust most. Sangeeta Lal, ITV News, Swansea.
There are just a few hours to go until one of modern boxing's most controversial fights. The British heavyweight Anthony Joshua and YouTuber Jake Paul are a mismatch in weight and experience. So why are they doing it? Well, for one thing, both are set for a massive payout. Geraint Vincent reports.
Please rise for AJ!
Ladies and gentlemen and potential subscribers, roll up for what Netflix will tell you is the biggest boxing event of the year. Anthony Joshua is 6 inches taller and 2 stone heavier than Jake Paul. Mismatch it may be, but it's one that is worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
I just believe I'm going to smash you. I'm going to smoke your boy.
Jake, can I ask, what were you saying to...
He top heavy! Look at them legs! Chicken legs!
By way of some background on these opponents, Anthony Joshua is a 2-time world heavyweight champion and an immensely powerful athlete.
Anthony Joshua!
Around the time he was beginning his professional career after winning an Olympic gold medal at London 2012, Jake Paul was doing this.
Snow. I like snow.
Doing this kind of thing on social media turns Jake Paul into a multi-millionaire. In more recent years, though, he has turned himself into a professional boxer whose modest ability is far outweighed by the number of eyeballs his online popularity can bring to any event he's a part of.
It's not really a boxing match in the sense of competitor A versus competitor B. We don't know the outcome. Jake Paul, if he gets caught with one clean shot, it's like lights out. He ain't knocking out Anthony Joshua any day of the week unless you've got a kitchen sink coming into the ring.
Not one for the purists then, but the lesson of this fight may be that TV audiences want to see a show just as much, if not more, than the skills and the strength it takes boxers so many years of training to acquire. Geraint Vincent, ITV News.
Finally, she's the queen of pop who's never had a Christmas #1 until now. Kylie has topped the UK singles charts with this earworm. XMAS has stopped Wham, winning for a 3rd year in a row, and as you can see, it even has its own YMCA-inspired choreography. And no, I'm not going to do the dance. And that's it for tonight from all of the team here. Thanks for staying up. Good night.